Okay, I know I'm making a lot of videos in one day. They take a long time to edit, a long time to export, and a long time to upload. So even though they only take me as long as it takes for me to record these videos for you to watch, it takes a hell of a lot longer through the system. All right, so just watching back, I'm currently exporting a video called Swiss Lace Day 2.5, where I had to cut this shorter and then brush it to the side, and then with my actual camera where people can actually see me the way I actually look instead of looking coned out because this is a fucking disgusting fucking camera, right? This is an iPhone pinhole camera instead of a proper camera, so people always look worse. Like, I look better in the mirror than I do in this fucking thing, even though I look fucking ugly at the moment to myself. With a better camera, I look better. Probably better than real life, to be honest. But anyway, this is a very thin, this is the Swiss Lace hairpiece I put on 2 days ago. Or yesterday, basically. The hairline is absolutely unacceptable. Somebody said, no, they're just the hairs that are getting caught along the front. No, there's a whole bunch of terribleness going on all over the place, right? I can't stand it. It's not just the glue, there are other aspects of it. They're just really bad. I mean, the thinness of it is no good. And then there's this other problem that I've got now, which is basically that I'm fucking balding back here. Now, whereas I used to get a lot of comments saying, just shave it off, bro, I've had more comments saying, you look fucking ugly bald, you're right. Wear a hairpiece. But now more people are saying wear a full cap to cover over all of that. But I just watched my first ever, since years ago, video of how to do that. And it's all just guesswork, and the back doesn't matter to people. There's a whole bunch of tape going on back here. It's a pain in the ass, and I don't see any reason why people are actually thinking that they're getting a proper grip back here with tape. Because they can't glue back here, they can't see what they're doing. So they're just trusting that the tape's gonna land somewhere in the general vicinity of their shave point. How did they even shave back here to get all those baby hairs off? And I wouldn't consider all this baby hairs. There's some usability in this fucking coverage I've got here at the moment, okay? I haven't got a double mirror system properly. As I hold this with one hand and try to shave all the way back to around there. Whereas if I just wait for a few extra centimeters or put some topic in it that actually matches the color of my hair or something, I can get away with that. I prefer to use topic in that area than fucking shaving it all off and going all the way back there with a full hairpiece. That's fucking massive. What a huge fucking chore. No way. I'm not ready for that. Fuck you. But I am going to get rid of this piece of shit hairpiece, which looked realistic the moment I put it on. I agree with you. It did. But not anymore. Not on day 2. Okay, so here's a little experiment. How hard could you pull on Swiss Lace? I mean, these hairs should probably give almost before the glue does, but I've got, it's winter, so there's no melting going on. It's fucking freezing. This, if somebody pulls on your hairpiece from here, right, they won't be able to pull your hair out, but you can see some lifting going on there because just the leverage comes from the edges. Am I going to replace this with another lace piece or a poly piece? Well, that comes down to this. My poly piece here has been bleached so much that it requires, see, it doesn't just come up like a couple of millimeters, the blonde. It comes up really far to about there. My hair's only just a little bit longer than that, so it'll be quite blonde here at the front. No good. And then I've got this French lace, which is medium density, give me more coverage. And what I've learned in this experience, I haven't learned it, I just was reminded by it, because this is probably video 190 something now, is that lace blends so much better in these areas. And if I am to go back and around to there, which is what I'm intending to do in the next few weeks, not there, I'm gonna have to figure out something to do about that bald spot, potentially grow it a bit, spray it with something, even maybe fake tan in there could make it look better. I don't know, some really dark fake tan, something like that could help. Maybe it could help, because you can't see the scalp in these areas around here. So if I put heaps of really dark fake tan in there, probably make my white pillows dirty, but maybe some brown pillows instead. And then I can just go along. I mean, this lip thing, there's not much of a lip I can feel here, but when I have the poly and stuff, it's a very straight line, and then I've got to try and cover that over more. I don't want that lip to be there. The other thing is, I think this spot here is actually a recession, because this side receded further than this side naturally, and so that's the tip of that recession. So I do sort of need to go back further to eliminate that. My stencil is currently shaped like this, that being the front. Now I was thinking, okay, just as a first off, I'm gonna be, if I cut out my stock hair pieces that I buy, because they're cheap and quick and easy to get here, if I just make that symmetrical, just as an experiment, then I'll just be cutting out an extra bit along there, okay? So then it doesn't matter which way I put the hairpiece on, that way or that way, it'll fit both ways, and then I can just have some ambidextrousness to every hairpiece. So if a hairpiece is more inclined to flow that way, and I want to have a brushed back look, then I just flip it around and then do it that direction. I'm going to be using the French lace today, so I'll wet it. I'm not going to be shaving that out now. This one's already pre-cut. I've got a few left in this size, so I'm not eager to shave off that excess right now. I'll be, it's daunting for me to have to shave in again. It's like starting again a bit, and it means a whole lot of cutting work with the hair pieces. And I don't want to do that until I'm ready. Okay, so I've wet it. I'm going to brush it away from the connection point back here. So that's, well, fuck. It's got hair in my eyeball. All right, ready? I'm just gonna pull this off because there's leverage on this side here, right? You see? I'm pulling on it without any proper grip, but there you go. Finally gave way. You can see the ultra hold. Can you imagine cleaning that glue off that hairpiece? I know there is a method of spraying lace release through the lace, then pulling it off if you wanted to keep it, but I don't know when to keep it. You saw that front hairline. Let's just look on my forearm here, close up, where I can get a proper look at what's going on with this front edge. It seems like there is some sort of balding going on at the front edge there, but just whatever problems are happening at the front here are not really happening that much further in, see? It's only really happening at the front edge. That's what the back looked like. Really light, that Swiss lace. So just looking at this area here where, I mean, it seems to be receding more there than there, which is why I've always got this bloody gap in there. It does seem reasonable that I should shave further back. Definitely as least far back as possible. I'm wondering if it's possible if I just did extend that to make it completely symmetrical on that side. Whether or not I could still try to get 3. No, I won't get 3. Cut 3 pieces out of a stock hair piece. I'm really glad I'm taking that off. It's just, I would have had to hide my head way too much. If you get the feeling that your hairpiece is not good enough, that you have to hide your head from people, then I think it's time to change it. Now, as far as I can remember, Swiss lace and French lace are basically, they have the same feel to them, more or less. And I'm sure Swiss lace is more breakable. But the main thing between that piece and the piece I'm about to put on, aside from the fact that that last one was had very good well bleached knots, this next one probably won't, is the density. This French lace piece I'm about to put on is medium density, and the Swiss lace one I just took off was medium light density. I don't know if I can maybe try to use that tape method that I was talking about. I'm not talking about taping the hairpiece to my head. I'm talking about using tape along the front hairline to aim the glue. I don't know what sort of tape people use that sticks to foreheads mostly, but I'll see what I've got. So I can try to get a really nice, perfect glue line and do it once with strong glue all the way along the front hairline. So I only have to do it once and it's thick. So I don't have to do it twice, or again the next day hopefully. If I get away with that, I'd be very happy. Because lace does have advantages. That advantage mainly being all along here, it blends with the hair. Now let me just hold up a poly hairpiece against my scalp for 1 second. That's been bleached at the front, just to show you how it would look if I did wear it. Okay. So the points that it would meet the scalp would look a bit like that. Right there, can you see the little sample? So it's not awful, and it's definitely 100 times easier. That's not an exaggeration. soap. Somebody wrote in the comments, why do I have to bother saying what people wrote in the comments if they've just started watching? They haven't seen the previous 190 videos. But I should use Sports Hold Max, or whatever the fuck it's called. I've used it many times. Look back at my old videos. I was just about to go and get it, and then I realized, nah, because then it wouldn't be a proper test of this tape method I'm about to use. And it's not even summer, it's winter. I barely sweat. And I definitely don't really sweat with lace. Poly makes me sweat. Poly makes everyone sweat. So that's another disadvantage of poly. But the thing is, you can't see through the poly to the sweat and the shiny glue. So, well, even though it does matter, not that you can feel the sweat and the wetness and stuff, it just makes the front lift up. And the whole thing we want to do here is make that stay. Because once you've got all that right, all around the edge, it should be fine. I'm not even going to shave this. It's only 1 day growth. I don't give a fuck. Oh, well, if you didn't do that properly, that's why it doesn't work. That's why it doesn't work? You just got here. Alright? Don't comment on things you don't know anything about. Yeah, I know much more than you do. Do you? Okay, I'm just gonna use Ultra Hold, okay? Because I don't want to fuck around with that other shit. This Ultra Hold, by the way. So my method is going to be to adhere the back half, as always, first, and then lower it down to the front, brush the hair back so I can see exactly where the front hair line should fall, and hopefully that will be easily taped. I don't know how. A bunch of short straight lines, I'd say, but hopefully it will be stretched into the exact same distance. But I know from engineering and stuff that is easier said than done. Using an eyeliner pencil means that eyeliner will be embedded. Forever. Creating a line underneath the glue that everyone will always see. There's no way to wash it off. I'm just gonna let that be under there. Fuck it, no, I can't. Just remember, it's the outer tracing line that matters the most, more than the middle. You still need to put glue in the middle though, of course. Because when that lace hugs into the glue, it takes away a lot of its visibility. So there, I've done the back half. I'll go away, I'll let it dry. I'll put that hairpiece on, then I'll brush it back. Then I'll put tape around there. And then I'll glue all over that whole thing, including the tape. And pull the tape off after it dries. And hopefully it won't bring the glue with it. By the way, if it was this glue that was on the tape and that dried and then I pulled that off, I'm pretty sure it would rip all the glue. But with Ultra Hold, that's not gonna happen. It'll be okay. Okay, let's see. Gotta check that it's on straight. And it can get low enough. I feel it's too high. This is what happens with lace when you miss. Now, in terms of the mirror system that should see over our heads when we put these things on, the best approach is probably a camera that's facing the top of your head that you can redirect. It's light and easy to put on an arm somehow. Well, not easy. It will move around easily when you put it on a decent swing arm of some type. And then you've got the screen here in front of you somewhere. That'll be better than a mirror, a double mirror system. If I invent one, I'll see if I can sell it to you. That's one thing I could probably sell to you. A nice swing arm with camera included and a little screen, or just you can use your mobile phone or something because it'll connect to it without much lag. Very fine hair. Fuck, I was about to spray that, I better put that aside. Let's go get the hairs out of here now. You can feel the stickiness from the glue that first failed. It just might not be long enough. Let's see. Because if it's not long enough, I'm going to have to favor the perimeter connection over the, no, sorry, yeah, a little bit. I don't want a gap back there. Obviously I still don't want a gap. I don't want a high forehead either, but would defeat the purpose of swapping the other one out, but not really, because the other one was fucked. It's a bit too much of a fucking gap, isn't there? Really can't have a gap like that. Damn it, this is getting messy. No way, that's way fucking too high. Tell me I don't have to cut another piece. That's where it should be. Right there. It's way too high. Damn it. Get off. Stretch, motherfucker. I can feel there's going to be a gap there. That gap. This hairpiece is basically too small. But it seems like it was the same size as the other one. We'll see what I can do. You can tell there's a huge difference in density between the medium light and the medium, right? How big's the gap? Hard to tell. That looks like an absolute gap, doesn't it? It's like the middle's been stretched forward compared to the rest. Can you see that? It's like that should be pushed back, but I don't know, I'll have a better look somehow. Maybe I'll just finish the job and see how it goes. Okay, so the method I said I would use is tape along the front here so that I can see if I can just absolutely glue it exactly. So I've got this tape here. It's Saint-Gobain tape, Saint-Gobain, which is basically for when you're marking off things where you want to paint it, and you just want to paint over those gaps. It rips off nicely and it sticks to your head like that. So it's pretty good for sticking to the head when you're not sweating. It's sometimes probably a nightmare. So I take scissors and I cut a little line like that, and then a little line across like that. I just run a whole bunch of these things all the way along where I'm going to put the glue. It's not easy to place it. I've already cut a bunch of them for you, so you don't have to watch me cut them out. See, I need to brush it back even more than that. Don't cut your fingernails off, you need them, especially your thumbnail. Can't even pick this up, fuck. Alright. First time I've ever done this. Seems logical. Right. Okay, let's see if this is the ultimate way to apply glue. Could be. Well, it makes aiming easier, that's for sure. I just have to avoid getting it on the lace at this point. And this is much easier. God, it's winter. I just hope that you guys can achieve a similar result if you do this in summertime, wherever you are. And I can achieve this in summertime. I have an air conditioner in this house at least. It seems like the logical thing to do, doesn't it? Seems faster, more accurate. Depends on what happens when I lift that tape up and how I press that stuff down at the front there. Because obviously there's a little bit of give and take with the hairpiece when you're pushing it and stretching it and pushing it down into position. Now if this was this tape, this glue, you've got to do 4 layers, right, with that one. I was just about to say, if you could rip it off right now, which I could, because I'm finished gluing, why do I need to wait before removing this tape? I don't see any reason I need to wait, except for the fact that it could go slimy and then just slip back in. For this particular experiment, this first time I've ever done it, I will leave it on until it dries. So I'll see you in 15 minutes. Okay, I think it's dry or tacky. Oh, no. Well, there's a bit of a blob there. That's okay. It's good enough, I think. So that blob. That's okay. Ready? Take it off. Let's hope it doesn't come with it. See how that springs back a bit? It's a bit messy there. It must have crept under at that point. it looks like that's going to be too far forward, that bit there. So I messed up that bit there, see? I think. Because I must have run the bristles underneath that bit of tape just there. The rest looks pretty neat. Apart from that, it's a globular cluster. Okay. Fingers covering glue and shit. See, the interesting thing about this is that glue is completely clean, right? But within the however many minutes I've been using this stuff, that's how dark the glue can become just from, I don't even know what, see on the back of the thumb and everything? That's what happens to glue on your forehead in one day. It obviously doesn't take a whole day, it just takes a few seconds really. So I haven't touched anything black, except maybe the handle of that brush, but I don't think that really emanates black stuff. No, I don't know, it's just dirt. I don't know how that happens. Okay, I'm gonna try and push that forward. I think that bit there might be a bit too far forward. Let's see if this worked. I really wanna make sure that it all lines up nicely. I've got to put it back down the way I put the tape on in the beginning. It feels like it's too far, the glue's too far forward. We'll see. It's my first attempt, so yeah, it looks like the glue's too far forward. Still worried about this bit back here, but we'll see that in a sec. See if all the hairs are stuck in the front. I'm about to see. Yeah, that's exactly the spot that I said, but all the way along there, it's quite perfect. That's the bit where the bristles went underneath the tape. And over here, I guess that's because even that hair got covered in glue because I guess I easily went under the bristles in that spot there. But you can see the potential if I hadn't have messed up on that one glob right here. So compare this to what you saw in the previous video with the Swiss lace. Does that look just as real? Because I find these knots are fairly well bleached at the front of this hairpiece. You can see the shine of the glue. Yeah, I think it's got a good adhesion all the way across the front there. Quite impressed. We'll see if I can remember to use that method next time, because it seems like a pretty effective method. Obviously I didn't get that glue out properly. I might need to glue this edge again. Now, I'm not quite certain about how bad the I've learned something today. Great. Happy with it. Okay. I don't know what to call that. Can't really call it the tape method because it's too confusing with tape that most people would put underneath the hairpiece. The tape marker method. Okay, give myself a haircut now. It's got to match the same length as I had with the Swiss lace because otherwise people will wonder how my hair grew so quickly. So much more hair, not only just in length, but also obviously in density compared to the Swiss lace. Look at it again here. It's not wet or anything, but much lower density. Okay. I think I want to try to get thinner layers. Doesn't seem like a thin layer, does it? Get some glue in there. But the front's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, the glue locations, there's no lifting anywhere. It's seamless. Very happy with the tape marker method. Very good. How's the gap up here? Is it apparent? Okay, now let's I've just moved that down a little bit, I think, because I may have missed the spot that it was supposed to land on at that point when I pushed it down. And that glue that it was getting caught in was actually in the right spot, potentially. Feels like a very chunky bit in here. But at least it settles down there. So I don't know what that's looking like from above. Well, I can actually. Yeah, there's a color difference. There's a color difference. Density seems a bit lesser over there. It's okay. It's just, you know what it is, I think? The difference in color between these different parts of my scalp that you can see. This one's been more exposed to sun, I guess. Well, why would it be though? It was under a hairpiece. I don't know. But this has never been exposed to sunlight, probably. Not for years. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna have to chop off some of these edge bits so it can, even if I put hair product in it, it'll probably still be fucked up. We'll see. So as usual, I'll leave it until I get annoyed with it, then I'll cut it later. I'll probably end up having to diagonally cut those bits so that they form better. Gee, that's really nice that that worked so well. It's still shiny at the moment, but after it settles in, I hope it goes away. This over here, looks like it's going to remain a problem until I C22 it out really, really thoroughly. Probably leave that till later as well. I want to see how this overall looks with some hair product in it. I'll just use muck for the sake of having some sort of styling to it, so I can sort of mimic the style I had in the last piece. Running out of muck, but luckily I got a 2-pack, so there's another full one after this. Yeah, I prefer medium density. There's quite a bump there because of the density difference. When I start, see how my hair starts going from the 12 mils to growing out longer from about this point here. That would add about that much to my hairpiece stencil. So I'll probably only get 2 hair pieces out of each stock piece. It's alright. So it'll be much longer, probably. That big. Short to long with each haircut. Then I won't have this lip problem. What I will have though is a fear that these bits back here will not blend in nicely, which makes me think poly cannot be a candidate in that instance. So let's hope that this new tape marker method of laying the glue down the front gave me a nice thick layer of glue here that really keeps it perfect for a long time. And if I ever have to do a touch up along the front, I will use a tape marker method again. Now let's solve this problem. Okay. These are Topic hair fibers. Supposedly this is medium brown, but actually it's fucking green. I put it in once, made a big mess, and you never knew where this fucking mess was coming from. So I need something that can just stay in there and I don't have to worry about the fuss of it. Because I don't want to fucking make my hairpiece that big, as you know, okay? So, let's see how good my spraying skills are with this stuff. Okay, so at the moment that's completely pitch black. I mean, you're not supposed to do that. I'll blend it in a little bit without wiping it off, hopefully. The point is though, hopefully that will be lessened. The contrast between the dark and the light will be lessened when that's fixed up. In fact, I should probably do the whole top of my head, especially where that bit connects. But that problem will go away soon, hopefully. So that's spray tan. This is instant bronze. It doesn't really say which shade it is or anything, does it? Wait 4 hours before washing. That's clearly not gonna solve the problem completely. But it probably could if I had a darker tan. I think this length is believable. And I still get my little curtain hairstyle if I want it, I guess, with this length. I'll have to work on the styling and I'll cut some excess off as required. But as for now, I'm very, very, very happy that the one with the bad hairline is off my head for now. This tape marker method, if there are any problems with it tomorrow, I'll show you. I still anticipate shower bloating of the glue, and I still know that the glue will shine through in summertime and the glue will melt. Because my initial thoughts about how to solve that glue on the forehead, making all your hairs stick to it and everything, was to find some sort of powder, like talcum powder or something clear that could just be placed on top of the glue that would rid the glue of its powers so that nothing could stick to it anymore all the way along the front. Then you could just glue down as far as you wanted to and just put that stuff over it after you put the hairpiece on so that nothing bad could happen. What do you think of that hairline? This is medium density French lace. Now, like I say, French lace and Swiss lace are almost negligibly different in terms of the thickness of the base material. I'm trying to get this brown shit off my fingers. But Swiss lace only comes in one flavor, medium light. French lace comes in medium, more coverage, still an effective hairline. Just gonna make sure that that shine is under control. Somebody was recommending Curtis's glue, but the shipping is $80 Australian, so it's just like $20 glue in Australian dollars or $15 glue, but it's $80 shipping. So unless it's sent out of Australia, like the glues that I buy, so I can get it for free shipping or $5 shipping or something, that's crazy money. Because I love the 15-minute aspect of this. There's nothing much I really love about this. 24-hour glue, you have 24 hours to apply it. Much messier, much harder. Crumbles into dandruff when it gets removed. This comes out like a big ball of snot, which is much easier to handle when you remove it. And it's fucking easy to apply. This is more effective than poly. If that thickness of the glue that I put there is perfect, then I think it could be the ultimate solution for gluing the front hairline and making the front hairline stay where the fuck it is. I really hope it's there like that, without any dirt along the front tomorrow. Running my finger along all of this until I get to this point here, there is no stickiness at all. See? Seamless, running my finger between the finger and the forehead and the hairline. It landed exact. Very happy with it.